meeting. Thank you. So I would like to call now our logistics, our Zoom master, DTM Sarinka, or is it Belushka? One of you can go over the protocol, meeting protocol.
Thank you, Fabiola. The meeting protocol, fellow Toastmasters and most distinguished guests. We have heard it over and over again, but still we would like to remind you, if you are not speaking, please mute yourself or we may mute you. If you need to walk away from your computer, that's okay. I do it myself often as well. Please turn off your camera, or if you need to iron any clothes, whatever that you're not interested in, please turn off your camera. The debating will be happening in this same room, so we will not be hopping in and out of rooms this afternoon. However, the two debating clubs will be moved automatically to their debating room, and also the judges will also be moved to their room for the discussion. You can use the chat, but be mindful. If we see the chat is going all over the place, we may stop the chat and you can only chat to the host. Any issue, drop me a private message and I'll make sure to help you out. Have fun, enjoy the evening. Back to you, Fabiola. Fabiola, you're muted.
Thank you so much, DTM Sarinka. And now I would like to call on our Inspirational Officer for this evening, Toastmaster Ika Jones.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our last night and most fun evening. I would like to share, since one of our topics is about, or the final topic is about differences. I would like to talk about a quote or a thought by Albert Einstein. Strange is our situation here upon earth. Each one of us comes for a short visit, not knowing why, yet sometimes seeming to a divine purpose. From the standpoint of daily life, however, there is one thing we do know, that we are here for the sake of other men, above all for those who smile and well-being our own happiness depends. For the countless unknown souls with whose fate we are connected by a bond of sympathy. Many times a day, I realize how much my outer and inner life is built upon the labors of people, both living and dead, and how earnestly I must exert myself in order to give in return as much as I have received and still am receiving. It is very important for each one of us to understand that we are all different. We are all human beings, that in that we are the same, but we are all different individuals, and we depend to be able to live together and move forward together. And the same thing is necessary in leadership and in communication. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much for that inspiration. We just, or even still, are honoring men in our life. We just had the International Men's Day, and tonight in this meeting, we also want to give them our special attention. And for this, we have DTM Shamila Williams, who is going to address our men for the International Men's Day.
A big shout out to all men out there who, despite all odds and obstacles, paved the way for themselves in the overambitious world. May you get more strength and love, because the beauty of all men is that each one has a special quality, and it is nice when you discover your true heart. Although you are a beautiful creation of God, you are not perfect, so it's normal that you have several errors. We know there is no need for a man to use physical force to show the strength that he carries within him. With all this, we encourage you to face the challenges of life without fear. Real man never gets affected by what others say about him, as he is busy doing what is best for his family and loved one. We know you are a truly best man, all of us know. Happy International Men's Day. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. And for all of you that participated in the campaign this weekend, from the Club Growth team, we thank you and do encourage you to continue celebrating our men. As women, we do need them in our lives too. So it has been a special weekend, you can say, where we give special attention to all the men in our lives. Yes, we came to the final. It has been a great battle, a tour that we started 4 weeks ago. And all the divisions, all the teams, they were wonderful. They gave us our word of what we could expect of debates. We have learned a lot, and that was the aim of this debate tour, to get to all members another tool for them to use and know how they can still develop in a lot of areas by putting everything together that they have learned so far. Debating is a skill that we can go long ways with it, and it can be fun. But besides the debaters, we have had also a big team of collaborators, judges, moderators, functionaries, committee members. All of them has learned so much. And believe me, I've learned also a lot, even though I knew a lot, but this was awesome. Thanks to the idea of our program quality director, Pierre Charles Mingo, that we get to organize this, hosted by Leaders Beyond Borders. Now today, our final day, we are going to have everybody in one same room. Two debates and an audience interaction of a ship debate. Have you heard of that? No? Well, you need to make this tonight and be part of it. In a while, we are going to share a link in the Zoom chat, and we will ask everyone as we are going along to click on the link and let us know that you want to participate as an audience to the ship debate. The rules are also in the link. You can see what it is all about, but we will explain that later on. Further on the agenda today, we will start with what we have called the fun debate. And what is the fun debate? That is our district leaders Yes, we have our district leaders also, two teams debating against each other. We do have a team of past district leaders. Those past, some are still current this year, but they have been also past district leaders against current district leaders. That should be fun. And that will be the first debate. It will follow the same format as we have been following up to now, where we have three speakers on each side, opposing side and proposition side. After that, we will have a 10-minute in between the two debates where we can start with the ship debate also, and we will finalize with what we have been expecting, the two divisions that state to this day. Division K and Division E will be debating their final debate today. Without further ado, I would like to introduce now our moderator for the first debate. She just raised her hand. Yes, I want to volunteer to be a moderator. She took it on, didn't know what it means to moderate a debate. She learned, she liked it, and this evening she will be the one that will guide our first debate against the district leaders, against each other. A very dynamic DTM that I love so much. And afterwards, you will tell me, yes, you will love her too. I will call now to the to the podium, DTM Carla. Carla, it's all yours.
I am here. I am from these WhatsApp group. So we are here. Be it resolved. Toastmasters WhatsApp group are overwhelming. That is what we will be talking about. We'll be singing about. We'll be dancing about at the end of it all. Proposition team, you don't want to hear it because they are the past district leaders. Opposition team, of course, the current district leaders. Are we talking about old dogs or new dogs? You can't teach old dog tricks, and maybe you can. Listen, I am so excited. You know why? They say this is I can do anything, and they can't fire me. So at this time, we just want to check if all our speakers are ready, judge intact, everybody intact, and the clappings are intact, because guess what? We are all in it to win it. Future, current, past, district leaders, you better be ready, because we will be watching you. You are our role models, they say. You are we are looking on you as the mirror. You better bring it good. I am seeing some judge in the house. So at this time, speaker, I see Toastmaster Carl Henry Petit Fear. That is a speaker number one from the opposition. But the proposition speaker number one, Toastmaster Kadeem Davis. I am hoping you are in the house. Speaker number two, who is just riling and ready to talk and ready from the opposition team. We have Toastmaster, the one and only, the lady, Karen Thomas. Woo-hoo. Now you gotta get nervous if you're a speaker number two from the proposition team, because we'll be looking at Toastmaster Christina Gordon. And then they go for a break because they will be so excited and everything. So they have to get a break. And while they're gone, we have another fun time to spoil their program. And then when we come back, they call it rebuttal. I call it Mommy Dolly in the ring. Maybe with his daughter. I don't know. Maybe, Mike Tyson may be another one. We will now be listening at the time to Toastmaster Angeline Trump. I didn't say Trump. Is it Trump? Trump? Well, it's T-R-O-M. Don't get it wrong now. She don't want to be confused. And then we will have Toastmaster Christopher Yaw as the proposition giving that rebuttal. We have judges. We have judge until we have chief judge. We have chief judge. We have logistic department. We have timer. We have everybody in the house. And we have you. With Toastmasters who are rearing to go. And yes, the real true deal debaters, because they're wondering what's happening now. So we are going to move rather quickly. Chief Judge, I am sure you are there. So I just need you introduce yourself and also your team with you, the judges. Chief Judge.
Muted.
I know for sure my chief judge did not get nervous. Yes, come on, let's go. We are hyped up. Come on. Guess what? This is fun. We can spoil it. Chief Judge.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. For a moment there, I was a bit worried when she said Chief Judge because we're having so many debates. I was considering which one is she talking about? But I am happy to have served this evening as your Chief Judge. And with me, I have a dynamic team of judges. And I kid you not, they have carried and have so many experience over the last 4 weeks. I'm telling you, they are well capable of judging this evening's debate. So with me on the judging panel, I have none other Miss Stephanie. As you can see, could Stephanie just wave, give her a wonderful wave? Yes, yes, yes. We have Toastmaster Stephanie. And of course, we have Toastmaster. Where is Toastmaster? I'm not seeing him. Where is he? Where is he? Toastmaster Judith. Good evening, Toastmaster Judith. Yes, thank you very much for waving there. I'm happy to know that this team of judges will ensure that we judge fairly according to the rules. And of course, always remember that the judge's decision is final. And so with that, I look forward to an exciting debate this evening. And I hope that we are ready to get started. Toastmasters and guests, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward as you will hear from the judges at the end of this debate. Toastmaster, moderator.
Thank you so very much. I was super excited till I got tongue twisted and I put 1 at 2 and 2 at 1. But our past district leaders, they are ready. Toastmaster Christina Gordon, position speaker. Toastmaster Sheena, are you ready? Because judges are, I am.
Yes, I am ready.
You are ready. Are you seeing the timer?
Yes, I can see the timer.
Great. Guess what? Be it resolved. WhatsApp groups, Toastmasters WhatsApp group are overwhelming. Toastmaster Kashina, the lectern, certainly yours.
Madam Moderator, judges, worthy opponents, and fellow Toastmasters, it is my task and that of my colleagues to stand in support of the proposition Toastmasters WhatsApp groups are overwhelming. Before I proceed, it is imperative that certain keywords in the moot are clearly and accurately defined to avoid any ambiguity in interpretation. As a result, I would like to give an explicit definition of three critical terms that are found within the moot, which in our opinion are Toastmasters, WhatsApp groups, and overwhelming. According to Toastmasters.org, a Toastmaster is a paid member of Toastmasters International. Their second term, WhatsApp groups, are defined by tech boomers as a collection of WhatsApp users who share messages with each other. Each group has one or more administrators who are the only people that can add or remove contacts for the group. Finally, overwhelming, as defined by the Collins Dictionary, means a feeling or event that affects you very strongly and you do not know how to deal with. This evening, as a speaker for the proposition, I am charged with the task of addressing the number of groups Toastmasters are subjected to and the poor administration of these groups that lead to disregard of members' personal and professional time. Following on with the argument, our second speaker, Adi Kadeem Davis, will tell you about the overwhelming nature of WhatsApp groups and the usual diversion from their purpose, thus solidifying our team arguments. Third speaker, Adi Christopher Yaw, will rebut and sum up our case. My team agree. Being a part of a group is beneficial and cost-effective for receiving and sending messages to an entire group at once. Nevertheless, my first argument is District 81 Toastmasters abuse the usefulness of instantaneous responses from multiple members in a WhatsApp group and create groups for any and everything. I thought I had it bad being a district leader and a member of 14 Toastmasters WhatsApp group. However, while doing research, I reached out to Division F Director Sandra Pike Anthony and learned. She is a member of 20, you heard me correct, 20 Toastmasters WhatsApp groups. For her, being overwhelmed is an understatement. There are members who belong to 3 or 4 groups in addition to area council group, district leadership groups, and extra groups for projects, inclusive of one for facilitators, one for executives, and one for all of the participants. There are too many groups with no clear purpose but to be another WhatsApp group. Testimonies from multiple Toastmasters revealed most of these groups lack the proper administration to monitor any set rules. This caused members to feel comfortable to post at any given time of the day or night. BPM of club number 583524 admitted she sends messages as early as 6 a.m., given others send messages as late as 12 a.m. and beyond. I know some of you can relate. Meanwhile, many members are not tech savvy to mute or turn off notifications. Some are required to have notifications on for personal or professional reasons, like myself. These members endure constant pings during their work hours and ungodly times at nights from many of these Toastmasters WhatsApp groups. Madam Moderator and audience, my team believes that Toastmasters is an extracurricular program. Members already deal with groups outside of Toastmasters, such as religious and family. Therefore, additional Toastmasters group that sends multiple messages at any hour of the day is overwhelming. I rest my case. You all know that this is true. Back to you, Madam Moderator.
At this time, we will give the judges just a few seconds to get those points up and running. But at the same time, we're going to be asking our Zoom master to zoom to our first speaker of opposition, Michael Henry Petitfield. That's one of the current district leader of the opposition. I am searching, and I know he's not nervous at all. Toastmaster Carl Henry, how are you?
I'm great, and you? Can you see me?
Too long to answer me.
Can you hear me?
Too long. I'm hearing you loud and clear. Are you seeing, I know you're seeing me, but are you seeing the timer?
No, I don't know exactly.
Not yet.
Okay, I'm gonna try to pin her.
Are you seeing
Maybe
her?
I cannot.
Great job. Toastmaster Carl Henry, are you ready?
Yeah, but I cannot pin her. Almost ready, but I cannot pin the timer. Am I allowed to pin her?
You're asking if? Timer? You will be able to see the timer. Once you have identified her now, you will be able to see her. All right, she's right here. Talk to me.
If I can pin her.
Are you on a mobile device?
My hand cut. I will try to using a laptop, but my internet is very weak tonight.
My apologies. Sorry, Carl. My apologies for interrupting. If participants are spotlighted, the pinning option is no longer available. So you're right. You're trying to pin and you won't be able to pin the timer.
Okay, I'm gonna try to stay here and try to see her, but I'm gonna go. Thank you.
All right. Toastmasters WhatsApp group are overwhelming. Toastmaster Carl Henry, the lectern is yours.
As Toastmasters, we use that tool all day long, and I seriously doubt that there is an organization which uses WhatsApp groups more and better than we do. According to Toastmasters, dear guest, Madam Moderator, dear opponents. First of all, I heard the way my fellow Toastmasters, my friend, Christina Gordon, talks about being overwhelmed by many groups which exist. And some of them will have purpose. And now I'm just questioning, would be the leaders go beyond words, principles or not? That's the first question which came to my mind. Being in many groups, isn't it a choice? Or we have to see how we can fix our priorities and also have a schedule to be part of them. Collins Dictionary mentioned that if something is overwhelming, it affects you strongly and you do not know how to deal with it related to stress and emotions. The Macmillan Dictionary sees in this adjective something larger, stronger than anything else. Is Toastmaster WhatsApp groups represent that? It's my first question. My colleagues and I in the negative team disagree 100% with this mood. Toastmaster WhatsApp group are overwhelming. Based on that, I will present the main reasons why we believe that Toastmaster WhatsApp groups are not overwhelming, and our second speaker, Toastmaster Cohen Thomas, will elaborate on our positions and respond to the main statements of our opponents. Then our third speaker, Toastmaster Angie Trump, if she's there, will make the rebuttal by making a synthesis of our position and will conclude our arguments. Cedric Edgun, a journalist, has written in an article published in LCI on July 3rd, 2018, that WhatsApp is a fundamental tool that allows professional and formal usages of communication, and any enterprise can use it for its benefits for security and program implementation. What some users has made and when we put Whisper first, we remain organized, responsible, and accountable. We do, however, need to promote it. Cecilia Eon Another journalist in a paper published in an online journal, Le Temps, of the 20th of December 29, about family WhatsApp groups, and she tried to referencing Sabine Dufault, who is a family therapist. She said that the complaints about WhatsApp come from a deeper societal problem. People are very often lost in futile conversation and finally realize there's no purpose or a true reason or even a cause which is useful to their presence in a group. Is Toastmaster groups about this? I really don't think so. If we, as I already stated this, leaders must be responsible and accountable. We can show respect and consistency. Why not? A Toastmaster WhatsApp group is not and cannot be vague. For my opinion, there is a standard and it is monitored by administrators and operates under protocol or chart. Is it the platform itself, or I should have asked myself some questions to ensure that I understand better? What is the purpose of that group? Is it different from what Toastmasters is promoting? Am I feeling comfortable in this group, which may have different purpose if created even by Toastmasters? Does it fit my ideology, my philosophy? Is it relevant to my journey as a Toastmasters? Am I part of too many groups, and is it necessary? While I'm inviting you to ask yourself these questions, I consider that acknowledge that a leader should be able to manage that easily. You learn to mute by using the features. You can leave. You can fix things by sharing advices, etc. If we follow some guidance shared by Raoul S. Bez in his book, written in August 2017, titled The Proposal of Basic Conduct Behavior Rules for WhatsApp Group, it is then important that in Toastmasters WhatsApp group, we put an emphasis on the purpose for the group or common goals, monitoring to ensure a proper usage of it, or shelter, reminders as possible about the rules and sanctions which can be highlighted, what topics are allowed, and also the hours in which we can post. When the rules are established upfront and people follow the guidelines, it is a safe place into which we can learn without fears, and no one should be evaluated.
We will now give the judges time to mark their ballots, their points, put them together as we have the Zoom master trying to find Toastmaster Kadeem Davis. Toastmaster Kadeem Davis. Wow, he's not lost at all. He is right here as a past district leader. Toastmaster Kadeem, how are you?
Good evening. I am doing well. How are you doing?
Oh, I am super great and pumped because I can make errors. Timer though.
Yes, I can see the timer.
Great job. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Past district leader, Toastmasters WhatsApp group are overwhelming. Be it resolved. Toastmaster Kadeem, the lectern is yours.
Salutations to you all. As the second speaker of the proposition, it is my task to further convince you by solidifying our team's argument that indeed Toastmasters WhatsApp groups are overwhelming. In concluding my team's argument, I will shed light on various factors which contribute to the overwhelming nature of Toastmasters WhatsApp groups. Before going to my substantive points, I wish to identify some flaws in my learned friend Toastmaster Petit Frere's arguments. He noted that we ought to learn to have a better handle of our schedule. How can we schedule messages coming from members in a Toastmasters group at all hours of the day and night? He further stated that we can mute groups, but how can we mute groups or mute WhatsApp when we also use it, as mentioned by Toastmaster Karshina, for our personal and professional lives? He further noted that the administrators can set the purpose or goals of the group, but how many times these are set and never followed? WhatsApp groups are causing us problems. I think that this is a consequence of the reality that human beings have not really figured out how to have this technology incorporated into our lives in a healthy, balanced way. According to psychotherapist Anna Mather, feeling overwhelmed by group chats is not uncommon. Our busy brains like to fill in gaps with assumptions and analysis, she explains. Anna adds that watching the notification alerts building can increase the stress hormone cortisol. It mimics the feeling of having a mounting and relentless to-do list, she explains. How many of you feel so, especially with Toastmasters groups? Over the course of a day, notifications are an interruption affecting our focus, our performance, and even sleep. Secondly, in a world of instant communications, we have grown to expect immediate access to information through technology. However, it seems that this is extended to an unwritten social contract, suggesting we should also provide a near instant response to messages, with blue ticks informing users that a message has been read. If the social contract is broken and you don't receive an instant reply, it can lead to feelings of anxiety and discomfort. Is this person ignoring me? What have I done to upset them? Am I not important enough to warrant a reply? Additionally, a Toastmasters group may be formed for a particular purpose. For example, a club's group to disseminate information related to Toastmasters. However, the ideal purpose is sometimes forgotten, and this discourages members. Instead of receiving only Toastmasters updates, members are barraged with good morning messages, GIFs, memes, and advertisement of services and purposes. This discourages members from participating in the group, thus overwhelming them. Let us not get started with the number of private conversations that occur in a group chat, which can engulf us and deter us from wanting to participate. While Toastmasters fosters fellowship, it still is a professional group, and these jokes, banters, and private conversations can overwhelm a guest or Toastmaster. It can be frustrating when you see 100 members in a messages in a Toastmasters group, and 90% focuses on Mr. A and B's debate and if Messi or Ronaldo is the greatest. Also, whilst it is good that members in a group wish to contribute, there are chances of irrelevancies. Just imagine when 50% of 40 members in a group add to a particular topic simultaneously. One can get an instant migraine and feel overwhelmed. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Evidence does not lie. Having gone through all these, I hope you can now see the challenge called overwhelmingness of WhatsApp groups.
The case seems as if it has been rested. We are moving quite speedily. Current district leader, Toastmaster Corinne Thomas, is about to speak while we give it just a little more time to get those digits on the paper. Once they are on, Zoom Master, we're trying to find Toastmaster Corinne Thomas, current district leader. She's all pumped and pride and ready to go. Leader of the opposition, or second speaker of the opposition. Be it resolved, WhatsApp, Toastmasters WhatsApp group are overwhelming. Toastmaster Corinne, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Wow, you sound that way for true. Are you seeing the timer?
I am.
You are? And you're ready to speak? And you're ready to speak?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Corinne Thomas, second speaker of the opposition. The lectern is yours.
Madam Moderator, distinguished judges, worthy opponents, Toastmasters and guests. My worthy but misguided opponents would have us believe that Toastmasters WhatsApp groups are overwhelming. They have cited abuse and poor administration, which is rampant. Groups created indiscriminately and members having little or no control over the groups. My team disagrees with this position. One of my mother's favorite sayings was, "A bad workman blames his tools." That adage is very apt here. As noted by my team's first speaker, WhatsApp is a tool, just a tool. Therefore, how it is used is entirely determined by the user. We have the controls. We determine how much or how little we want to use it. The power is with us. We believe that the Toastmasters WhatsApp groups can be used as a platform to teach, learn, grow, and they have many advantages. Our district, far-flung as it is, has used WhatsApp groups very effectively to disseminate information quickly, efficiently, and cost-effectively. It has helped us to draw closer together and build relationships. It has helped to boost attendance at club officers training and other district and division events. And in this online environment, we are even using it to manage contests. That being said, there are controls to allow us to use it as much as or as little as we want. There are a number of features that puts the choice squarely in our hands. A simple setting can prevent us from being added to a group without our permission. We can reject or accept to join, mute an individual group at any time for a specified time. That puts the control in our hands. I do it all the time. If work intervenes, I mute the group for an hour, 8 hours a day if necessary. WhatsApp is a tool, and as with every tool, there are guidelines for operation. We must ensure that the guidelines are set for the group and then ensure that they are adhered to. If the group is established for a short time, then it must be disbanded when the objective is achieved. In conclusion, WhatsApp is a tool. As such, the tool itself cannot be overwhelming. Our personal choices and behaviors will determine how it is used and the usefulness to us. My team and I strongly oppose the mood Toastmasters WhatsApp groups are overwhelming. We believe that we have the control, and if we exercise the control, it will be a useful tool that is properly utilized. Madam Moderator.
Wow. The place is hot. We are now ready to get it here. So, my dear Chief Judge, I am going to ask you kindly to move the judges and get those speakers out so they could regroup as quickly as possible and get back writing for that last stage of the battle between the oppositions and the propositions. Mr. Chief Judge. And listen to the opposition leader, Toastmaster Angeline Trump, from the district leader, the current district leader opposition team, and then followed by the past district leader proposition team, Toastmaster Christopher Yo. Yo, 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 yo.
Good evening. Moderator, Madam Moderator.
At this moment, it needs to be going into the breakout room, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Master, you can open the breakout room for them.
Just for clarification, everybody is going to breakout rooms, also the debaters?
The debaters will be going to their breakout rooms now to prepare for their rebuttal, and also the judges, which is Chief Judge Dylan, Judith, and Grace.
And Angeline Zivinger is the same Angeline Trump?
Trump, yes.
Okay, then I have my rooms complete. Rooms are being opened and will be used.
10 minutes.
Madam Zuma, okay. Madam Zumarmin, I have two devices. If both my devices could be moved to the room, please. Thanks.
Yes, Christopher.
That's right. I agree.
Everybody has been moved.
They're gone now, Zoom Master. Beautiful, beautiful. We do not have a lot of time, but I know we have a lot of talks. So let's get it on because we are the debaters, whether they want to believe it or not. Your thoughts, Toastmaster WhatsApp group are overwhelming. I want to hear one person who said, yes, I think so. I agree with them. I'll fight to the last. Anyone, anyone, anyone. All right, Toastmaster Yolanda, I can't care. Quickly, you only have 30 seconds. Come on, Toastmaster Yolanda.
Okay,
yes.
Quickly, yes, I agree. It can be overwhelming. Initially, my thought was exactly that. But then I heard Toastmaster Corinne, I think it was, and she made a very good point that, you know, it's a tool and it's how we control it. So it had me rethinking my stance, you know, in terms of how
you're swaying on that ship. You're swaying on that ship. Yes. All right. Yes. Even though you thought so in the beginning, no, you're saying, oops, I never thought of that. But
yes, it's definitely how we use it. We have the devices and the opportunity, the tools to control how it affects us, and something could only be overwhelming to us because we let it, you know. So
all right. All right. Just one more person, because I know we need to spin that wheel for the ship, right? So that one more person, can you tell me quickly? I believe it is not overwhelming. Toastmaster adds. Let me go quicker than that. Toastmaster August, take it away.
Yes, I am in full agreement that it is useful and it can be overwhelming if we allow it to be overwhelming. You don't even have to mute it. Some persons on the call may not know how to mute groups. You just put it in a different room to where you are. When it's overwhelming you, you remove yourself from the phone. I leave my phone in a different room when I feel that I have had enough. And sometimes it comes in useful because I am one of those who work best at night. So I may be the one sending messages at 1 o'clock in the morning, but I don't expect. I always tell people, you don't need to respond then. That is when I have the time to send.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster August. As unfair as you are, you send a message so late, but you leave your phone so that nobody can disturb you. We are going to move on and we are going to be listening to the rebuttals when we get back. But right now, it's the wheel to see those who will be on the ship and those who will be off. Toastmaster Fabiola, it's yours.
Yes. Thank you so much, moderator. And for this final, we do have a debate segment also for all the audiences. But how are you going to participate in it? Well, we are going to have a ship. And this ship, we have a couple of persons on the ship, and you will have to debate. Why is it that you should stay on this sinking ship? Why are you the last person to be on? Now, in order for you to participate, I have posted in the Zoom chat a link where you will be clicking on it and let us know whether you want to participate and also what role you would like to take on. Quickly, I will go through what it is that you will be participating on. Let's see. Okay. Okay, here we go. So the ship debate is a debate in which a number of speakers attempt to win the approval of an audience. The audience is invited to imagine that the speakers are on a ship that is sinking and that someone must be thrown out if everyone is not to die. Suspense. So each speaker has to make the case why they should not be thrown out of the ship to save the remainder. Typically, each participant speaks on behalf of a person who plays a critical role on the ship, a profession, or a fictional character. Each round, a speaker will be eliminated. So we are going to launch the poll, and based on which of the professions or persons that give an argument are the ones that are going to stay on the ship, or we are voting for the one that we are going to throw off the ship. So participants, and with each round, participants cannot repeat the same reason. So if one round you were saved, the next round you will need to come up with another argument. Each speaker will have 2 minutes to give their arguments. To participate, audience will need to register via a Google link in advance before the start of the segment, which will be after the rebuttals. We will start with this. We will not spin the wheel this time around. We are going to use you. Just click on the link and you can take a role, whether captain, mate, first mate, and you will see all this also in the link when you click. So this will help us to prepare for our next round. And back to you, moderator.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are seeing a red light and I'm happy for that touch because the red tell me it is hot in the place. I seeing my judges. Chief Judge, please talk to me. I can't be talking by myself. Chief Judge, are you there or not there? Speakers, I'm not seeing them. So it's not as hot as I thought, is it? They are on their way over. I am hoping that's the case. But this match, I may say, is one of the two. This match is the fun one. As we watch Division K versus, can anybody say? Anybody? Listen, I am not going to flood your WhatsApp group now, you know, so you just have to answer. Anybody? Division K versus
Division E.
There you go. I was wondering because I saw you in the house. Division K versus Division E, Division E versus Division K. Whether we're going to call it EK, EK, or K, what? I am still waiting to see.
Madam Moderator?
Yes.
I don't see many that are signing up for roles.
They are not? Listen, this is an exciting game. Let me explain it to you in 2 seconds. It is an exciting game. We are all on the ship and you have to hold on tight to drop off. You have to hang on for dear life. And guess what? You're just debating to keep yourself on the ship. No, you don't want to be the first one to go up. You want to be the last man standing. Speaking of men, I was hoping to see. Come on, Toastmaster August. I know your phone is elsewhere, but I want you to sign up. Toastmaster Sophia, Toastmaster Billa, and you don't sign up yet? I am hoping that that link is being clicked as we speak because it's red hot in the house. Toastmaster Rogers, sign up. Oh yes, they are back. They are back and they are looking stronger than before. You can't call them old. You can't call them anything like that. You have to say past district leaders and current district leaders. We are now ready to listen to the third speaker, the rebuttal speaker for the opposition. 3 minutes Toastmaster Angeline, Tromp, to be on the safe side. Toastmaster Angeline, are you there? Yes, and she's laughing. Are you seeing the timer?
Yes, I'm seeing the timer.
Yes. The timer. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Could I ask such a question? Be it resolved. Toastmaster WhatsApp group are overwhelming. Toastmaster Angeline, Tromp, the lectern is yours.
Thank you so much, Madam Moderator. And yes, what we heard from the DLP group was that apparently we are in control. They are stating that we are not in control because we are not able to better handle our schedules. Yes, that control is in our hands. All hours of the day and night, mute. We can mute. That is how we will remain in control, and WhatsApp group is not going to be overwhelming. Administrators, they know what they're doing, so they are clearly know their task. And again, once more, we have the choice to join, to remain, or to abandon ship in the WhatsApp group if it's overwhelming. Again, we are leaders, so it's in our hands to show how best to communicate in those WhatsApp groups. The control remains in our hand. So if you listened well to my team members, what we said was WhatsApp is a fundamental tool for communication. It's a platform where we can learn and grow every day as a Toastmasters. It brings all Toastmaster members from 1,000 miles in one group, and we are able to communicate. So there you have it, Toastmasters, members and guests. WhatsApp group is not overwhelming. It is the most important tool that we have to communicate, and it is best used, and we have control on these groups continuously. So with this, I rebuke the statement of the opposition, and I say, WhatsApp group, that's how we communicate and we become better leaders within Toastmasters. Back to you, Madam Moderator.
It's hot. Chief Judge, it's hot in here. It's hot in here. It is hot in here. We have one more speaker. The judge trying to find that last speaker, Toastmaster Christopher Y.A.W. Because it may be yeah, it may be yo, it may be yo. We don't know. I don't know. Toastmaster Christopher Y.A.W. Did we spot it? Yes, we did. Toastmaster Christopher, are you seeing the timer?
Yes, Madam Moderator, I'm seeing the timer.
You're seeing the timer. You look like you're muted, but I am hearing you. So that's new things now going on.
Right. Yeah, I have two devices. So don't
All right. Now we get it. Now we get it. Toastmaster Christopher, yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Madam Moderator.
Because I am too. Toastmaster WhatsApp group are overwhelming. The lectern is yours.
Thank you, Madam Moderator, judges, worthy opponents, fellow Toastmasters. My purpose this evening is to deconstruct, demolish, crush, extinguish, exterminate the points raised by the opposition this evening. First of all, the opposition's first speaker, he notes that all day long we are on getting messages on WhatsApp. That in itself, ladies and gentlemen, is overwhelming. The second speaker notices that things outside these are things outside of our control and we can control these things. But however, if persons are not within a particular, if persons are a contact, they will be automatically added to a group, so that when a group is formed, you have no choice. You will be added to that group. And then if you were to mute you will have to eventually go back to read all those messages. And when you go back to read those messages and you are in multiple WhatsApp groups, it means you might be having to go back to read 100 by 10, which would mean you'll be reading about 1,000 messages because you muted all those groups. Okay, so it is still very overwhelming. The first speaker also went through a set of questions that you have to ask yourself. Oh, is this group relevant? Is this, is that, is da. All those questions will tell you that that in itself makes WhatsApp groups in Toastmasters District 81 overwhelming. Why do I have to go through that process of asking myself all those questions? Life shouldn't be so stressful. Even the rules that you're talking about in terms of setting rules for groups. My. You can set all the rules you want. It is people and human beings we're dealing with. You're still going to be bombarded with all those good morning messages, all those jokes, all the irrelevant banter at some time or the other. My ladies and gentlemen, judges, I want to tell you this. The opposition speakers are hoodwinking you. They're trying to fool you when they say that you can mute the groups. You can't mute the groups. If you are paid Toastmaster, if you are district leader, how can you mute the District 81 leadership group? It means you'll be missing all kinds of important information. And then people are going to be saying that you just took the rule because you wanted to, as they say in Trinidad, flam, right? So you cannot mute the groups. You cannot honestly mute those groups. Now, in terms of blaming WhatsApp, we're not blaming WhatsApp. We use our tools properly. We agree that it's a tool. But as our first speaker noted in the definition, WhatsApp groups are groups formed for exchange of instantaneous information. But those groups are made up of groups of human beings, and people vary in terms of their attitudes and approaches. So therefore, these things are not necessarily within our control. So it's not a simple thing as just muting or fixing your settings. It could cause you to end up in difficulties when you continue to miss out on information. And of course, I just want to rehash what my team members were saying all along. They said, listen, first of all, our first speaker said that these groups are overwhelming because they're irrelevant. Thank you again, Madam Moderator. That is my response.
You're muted, you're muted.
I was just trying to see if this thing could work all this time. It's still not working, but I'll continue to try. Just wanted to see if things were getting okay. We are in the house, we are ready, we are finished. The boxing is over, the gloves are off the hand, and we are just ready. We are just ready to hear from the Chief Judge his thoughts. Right before that, I would just like to hear maybe from one district leader in the past and one current district leader. So a member from the DLP and a member from the DLC. Let me hear from the DLP, the past as we move into the future. Just one. Oh, I need to call you? That's fine by me too. Toastmaster, let me start with Toast Gordon. Christina Gordon.
Here I am.
All right.
Moderator.
All right. Your team, you are ready. How confident are you with your team? Do you think you take home the gold? Do you think you're throwing the boxes in the ring and it's all over?
Point of information, we are the current district leaders. I'm the division director for Division I, and I'm very confident that my team and I will be successful because we presented information that all Toastmasters present here this evening can relate to. Our first core value is integrity. They know the truth.
All right. So not only one, but 3 points. One, we are current. We are not no past. Get it right, moderator. We are current. Thank you so very much. District leader, current, Christina Gordon. Can I now hear from one of the district leaders as we move quickly? District leader in the past, Toastmaster, let me call on Toastmaster Carl. Is he in the house or is he, let me call on Toastmaster Karen then. Toastmaster Karen?
I'm here.
Not here.
Yes, I'm here.
I'm seeing you. Talk to me.
I thought this was a good mood. It's certainly topical. I do disagree with our opponents. Yes, there are a lot of groups. Yes, perhaps it can be a lot overwhelming if we allow it to. There are choices, there are things that we can do to control it and manage it.
All right.
Good mood and great opponents. It was fun.
Mr. Contest Chair, you were smiling in the beginning. The beginning of this fight, you were smiling. You were laughing in the middle, but now the face doesn't look too right. Let me just hear from you. Let us just hear from you exactly what you think, your thoughts on the speakers, their job. They could have done a little better. What wasn't so, rather quickly. Because the next contest should have been started 8 minutes ago. Toastmaster Dylan, I'm waiting on you.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. I am awaiting the final scores from my other two judges. And of course, I will be able to submit that to you. But before we submit those scores, I would like to call on my two assisting judges to give at least 1 minute of their brief remarks about how they thought the debate was, commencing first with, of course, Toastmaster, I am missing her name.
Grace.
Right, Toastmaster Grace, thank you. Toastmaster Grace.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dylan. My remarks are that I found both groups, that they both had good definition and good arguments, and with examples to motivate their point of view. They also showed good teamwork, talking about anticipating what the other speaker will be talking about and coming back on what the other speaker had said. So I found it a very good debate.
Thank you very much. And Toastmaster Judith.
Yes, well, both teams did an excellent job of defining the mood and bringing their arguments forward. What I especially liked is how one team named or mentioned each and every argument that the other team had and gave their rebuttal. So I thought that was especially good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And indeed, coming from both my judges, I believe we had an exciting debate. I love the fact that both sides brought in their experiences because, hey, how can you speak on a topic if you have not really and truly understood it from a point of view? So I love the fact that both teams came out tonight ready to rumble and ready to tell us how overwhelmed they are and how much control we should have had. So the scores...
You are ready to go. But guess what? My time is up. I should have been out of here a long time ago.
Brilliant.
So I just want to thank you, viewers. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, administrators, for making this fun debate the fun that it was. I'm yours truly, your host, your moderator, Carla McGarvey Blair, and do have yourself a debating splendid group or non-group evening. Toastmaster Fabiola.
Thank you for an excellent job. Wasn't she fabulous? Big round of applause for our moderator. And now we are going over to the ship debate. We will take about 10 minutes to start the first round. And this will be guided by our DTM Dylan. But as I'm seeing, we have only a couple of role players. Let me see, double check. Oh, it's...
Madam Chair?
Yes?
I have a question directed to me.
Mm-hmm.
to with the can I participate in ship debate with camera off? He wants to participate, but he wants to participate with his camera off.
Well, Dylan, what do you think? DTM Dylan.
Toastmaster Fabiola, thank you very much, but it's his choice if he wants to do the ship debate without his video on. I don't know whether or not that will serve as I don't know if it's going to serve as something that is going to put him at a disadvantage because we won't get the opportunity to see his gestures and facial expressions, but it's up to him. No problem. Remember, at the end of the day, we're not judging. The audience will be judging.
All right. Okay, I will put in the chat at this moment what we have on persons that did sign up. Okay. We have Jodian Jackson as Chief Engineer. We have Helen Christina Romeo at Second Engineer. Arcides, Medical Purser. We also have another medical purser, Amos Title. Carl Henry as First Mate. We have also Deborah Ramdehall as Cook. And we can start with those, don't you think? DTM Dylan?
I keep forgetting to unmute. Yes, why not? But I thought we would have gotten more participants in the ship debate. Nobody wants to take the opportunity to be part of this voyage that we're about to take off on. Come on, we're Pirates of the Caribbean.
Can I be a part of this ship debate?
Of course, why not? It will be fun, Toastmasters and guests. It will be fun.
As I mentioned in the chat, I will resend or repost the link. And also, if you scroll up, you can also get the description. But even when you click on the link, it will give you the description. So we are going to take another 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Please go ahead and sign up. So we can start up until, because we do have our finals still. And as we promised, we will not take you beyond 9:30 to this evening. So it's up to you whether we speed it up. 2 minutes, and then we can start with the ship debate. Yes.
During those 3 minutes, I have received some queries. If you can explain, share the ship debate again. Sorry, the ship debate again.
The ship debate, to participate, you just have to give an argument why the other mates should not throw you off the sinking ship. Why are you the most important person to be on the ship? If you click on the link, you will find also the description and also sign up. So put your name. So click on the link. You can get more of the description from what I have been explaining up to now, and also we will know also the names. It's easier to navigate this way.
Yes. So sign up, sign up.
We still need a cook. We have also other
Somebody's afraid to be the cook?
Yeah, they jumped already.
I wish I could have joined this debate.
The cook jumped ship already. So we don't have a cook on the ship anymore. So anyone can take on the role. We have a teacher. You are president? Oh, we need a pastor also, or the watch leader. So any of you that wants to join, one more minute, just one more minute. Let me double check how we are doing with. Okay. Ooh.
The judges' scores are in, by the way.
All righty. Interesting.
Great.
Okay, we have two cooks now. We have one. Jasmine Smith is the cook on board. And we have also a teacher. Did we mention a teacher called Henry? And we have a pastor, Carla. Oh my goodness. Carla Garvey is the pastor on board. And we do have a musician, Otto Augustine. And a watch leader, Margaret Bartolome. Let me put... Actually, we do have two pastors. This is going to be fun. Okay.
Great. So we ready?
Yes.
Great. I can feel the excitement and the energy already. Toastmasters and guests, prepare to be blown away. Then we will know how good we are as friends when we get to throw each other off a sinking ship to save our own life. So let's go.
Just for the sake of the timing, we will start the 10 minutes now. So by 9, we will close this part off so we can start with our final debate.
Brilliant.
All right, go ahead.
Josh, I'm in a meeting.
10 minutes starts now.
Toastmasters and guests. The Toastmasters from District 81 has taken on a splendid voyage into the Caribbean Sea. However, they have struck an iceberg called as better known as pause fillers. And as such, they are in a sinking ship. It is now for them to decide who will be the lone survivor on the ship to tell the story, to tell the tale. And we will now begin by asking them to present their case as to why they should remain on this sinking ship. Let's go, participants. We shall begin with the captain. We shall begin with the captain.
We don't have a captain. Nobody signed up for captain. Okay, I will start naming the... We have a second engineer. The second engineer, the chief engineer is Jodianne Jackson. Jodianne Jackson is the chief engineer.
Jodianne, tell us why we shouldn't throw you off the ship.
Good evening, fellow guests and people who are on this ship. I am your chief engineer, and I come from a bloodline of chief engineers, as I'm an indigenous Caymanian, and we are known for people to be out on the seas. I can cast us through this. Lo and behold, I know every part of this ship, and I can get us through this because this is what I was built for. Honestly, you need me. I am almost right next to the captain. And as you know what they say, the captain cannot sink. The captain should sink with their ship. And I'm willing to do that tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, you need me because I can guide us through this and get you all home to your families as us came on, we are known to be seafarers, and I am the person to be here with you all. Thank you.
All right. So we have a second engineer. The second engineer on the ship is Helen Christina. Helen Christina?
Fellow Toastmasters, I am your chief engineer. I will be guiding you through this sinking ship. I'm a professional. If comes the time that we need to abandon ship, I am here to guide you. I already have the safety procedures set in place. I am going to take charge of everything, and I'm going to do this orderly. We are not going to panic. Please do not panic. It's just a drill that we are all going to take part in. As your chief engineer, you do not want to throw me overboard because one, I can navigate you to safe ground. Two, we are going to get to safe ground with me swimming with one of you on my back. We are going to reach to land. And three, I am going to keep a record of all who's with me. I'm going to count it down. Captain, we're going to throw him overboard for sure because we don't need a captain anymore. We need an engineer that knows how to guide the ship, navigate the ship, knows how to cook for whoever survives if we reach that far. And two, and the third one, we are all going to be safe. No one is going to be thrown overboard. Don't throw me overboard. I'm part of you all. You all need me to save this ship because at the end, we're all going to enjoy ourselves in that great ballroom that they have on this ship. The ship is not sinking, my fellow Toastmasters. Remember, we have something in the Caribbean that says, Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. Yes, the seas are rough, but we are, as a team and as the civil engineer, none of us are going to sink on this ship. Back to you, Toastmaster Fabi. Hello?
All right. We have also a medical purser, one of the medical pursers, which is Amos Title. Amos Title, medical purser.
Thank you. Sounds to me like the chief engineers are quite afraid. You speak about navigation and sailing and swimming with persons on your back. Why not start doing that now? I, as the medical purser, not only am I able to treat wounds and to touch the hearts of the persons who are here, I'm also able to operate some of the equipment within the ship. We are speaking about safeguarding persons. I am going to utilize the safety equipment, the SOS, reaching out to help, and we're going to ensure that as many persons as possible survive. If we have to lose persons, let's lose the persons who aren't willing to be there and risk their lives to safeguard you and your family. I, as the medical purser, I want to ensure, one, that you stay alive as long as possible. Two, that I utilize the equipment that we have to ensure that we have help on the way. There is no sense being on a ship if we have not sorted to seek for assistance for persons to come and rescue us where we are. I understand the pastor. He's a man of God, but so am I. God doesn't just speak through preachers or appointed ministers. He speaks through the persons who are available to be used. The pastor can go to peace and have peace with God. The cooking is minor matters. We have rations here that could be eaten without being cooked. And so we will be fine. And I would ensure that all of you, every single one of you who stick with me, that we will stick together and we will survive to the end. Thank you.
Okay. I think we have another medical purser. another medical person. I see this, Christina. Please tell us why you should be on the ship.
Thank you very much. In time of crisis, we all pretend to be very important. As a medical personnel, I have my responsibility to take care of sick person. If anything happened, when it reached so far that we still have to abandon ship because if the ship is sinking, I will volunteer myself to jump on of one of those boats with a group, a person to take care of them. Because then at least as the medical personnel, I'm gonna be in charge of my own ship together with my people them and make sure they survive this trip. It doesn't make no sense to be on a shipping sink, a shipping boat, because everybody gonna be defending. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. A shipping boat is a shipping boat. Try to help what you can help and survive. With that said, I rest my case.
Okay, we do have a pastor also on the ship. The pastor is Karshana Gordon.
Yes, here I am. I'd like the entire team to know that these are modern times. Pastors are not only males. Pastors are females these days. God speaks to females. And you must remember the quote by Billy Graham: the will of God will not take us where the grace of God cannot sustain us. You may recall in Matthew 8:23-27, when the disciples went with Jesus to the Sea of Galilee, and the seas were tumultuous, and this boat almost sank, and they were so fearful. But they contacted Jesus in the boat, and Jesus was able to pray for them, and none of the disciples died. The ship did not sink. Fellow Toastmasters, let me tell you, God will not put us in a situation where we will not be protected if we cling to him. I know many people may not be religious, you may be an atheist, but you may also remember the story of Noah. And although I'm a pastor, I'm also a meteorologist, and I can tell you, I've survived Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Maria, and I've also survived terminal illness where they said that I would sink and be 6 feet under the ground. Nevertheless, here I am today. I will be there for you. I will pray for you. I will encourage you, and I will keep you motivated and encouraged to cling to the grace of God. Remember, the will of God will not take us where the grace of God cannot sustain us. Fellow Toastmasters, you may see the sick shipping, but if it's not the will of God, it will not happen. Do not throw me off the ship.
Hallelujah.
All right, and we have our second pastor, Pastor Carla McGarvey.
Oh, let's pray. Because as my fellow clergy say, we will not be on the sinking ship. Guess what is going to happen? I am just thinking as the pastor, there is only one ship that needs to go. How can we have this ship that we're trying to save everybody, and that medical person, Amos Titus, don't even want to show his face? Now, if I am sick, I can't even know who is tending to me. He needs to go. Definitely needs to go. As the pastor, I definitely will take the place. Notice not even a captain is there. Praise the Lord. And I will be not just assisting him, but I will be ready. I think that medical person, Amos, needs to go.
So we do have two more, and then we will go for our final debate. And we have a musician by the name of Otto Agustina. Otto?
Hi, good evening. This evening, I have heard so many people spoke, but we know the importance that music is life. We want to live. And while not all of us may leave this ship alive, it's important that we at least know that we leave happy. When persons are in our right frame of mind, we have the ability to think clearly to make better decisions. As a singer, as a musician, I want us to all be in that right frame of minds. I want us to sing, and even if we die, we must die happy. We must die knowing that this is not our final destination. Because like our pastors, I too believe in the afterlife. And I know that I can sing and get you all so motivated and energized that you may even look forward to death. Because sometimes when what we are experiencing now in life may not be our best experience, and we want to know what is in the thereafter for us. Let us sing, let us have a good time. Instead of sitting down and wallowing, listening to our medical person and all these people who are talking technical things that we may not understand, all of us have that one song that gives us life, give us energy, give us hope, help us look after our fellow men and women. I want you all to live that happy life. Let's join hands, let's sing. Each of us can give our own, and you tell me what song you want to hear. We can get it done together as a team.
Our next one is the cook. We have the cook, Jasmine Smith.
Thank you. I am chief cook and bottle washer. Have you ever heard that term? It is said, you must have heard this one, jack of all trade and master of none, but I am Jill of all trade and master of all. I am blessed today, blessed because on this ship, I am the only one who has expert working knowledge of all the other roles. I am an ordained pastor, I'm a musician, I'm a teacher, just to name a few, but I am just about all. I am in this role as cook because I decided to take a break from being captain and other functions. It is said, my fellow Toastmasters, and this is where I'll rest my case, I am a Toastmaster. That means I can wear many hats. I have been indoctrinated as a Toastmaster to be multifunctional. I rest my case. I have experience in all roles. Over to you.
And our last person, now yes, the last one, the teacher. The teacher is Carl Henry. Carl?
Yes, I'm here. Okay, as everyone is there, and I think it's not something that we can joke about because how ship is making. But do you know what? I think that we should start to see what kind of objects are heavy in the boat and just throw them away. But I think it's gonna be something great if we try to see. But I cannot ask every one of you who should be volunteer to jump in the sea, in the way river, just to ensure that we avoid being sinking. But now, some things, I see some walls, some objects, some heavy tables. Let's try to put them out and we just try to see. And if it doesn't work out, we're gonna try to see if we can find another stuff to be done and ensure that we save our lives. Because now we don't have any choice and we just have to try. Give it a try and let's start by putting out this, let's kick them out. But I think it saves something. And if finally we cannot do this the best way that we expect, what we can do now is to see if there is something that we should do. And if someone is experienced, has experience in mechanic, so we're gonna try to see if there is maybe something very little thing just to be fixed and ensure that we continue to see exactly where we're gonna go. Because I think that if we try this and we all here are smart, and instead of screaming that away because we're gonna die, let's try to see if we can do something and ensure that we put things out and save our lives. Bing, bing, and now, do you see this? We just have our balance and now we are safe. And now, no one didn't expect that we talk about all the experience that we have as cookers, as pastors. It's not only to God, but I think that our skills can help us to be safe. And now, here we are. You can see the boat. And it's okay. And now everyone is happy. And I think that the musician can continue his peace, and also all the people can be happy. And now, Pastor, you can preach and ensure that we can go to event, but not today. Thank you.
All right. And this ends this part. Is the first round. You will be all audiences will be voting in a while for who is the one that's going to be thrown out the first. But before that, we are going now. Everyone prepared for what we came today, our final. And now I would like to call on the virtual lectern, our moderator for our final, none other than Daphne. Daphne also came on, and Daphne is an experienced debater, so she knows how to go about this. Daphne, the virtual lectern is yours. Take it on.
Good evening, good evening. We are ready for the finals of the Debate Masters Tour. We know that this tour is hosted by Leaders Beyond Borders Advanced Toastmasters Club, and the participant, I got that right, over the course of this tour came from every division in District 81. This evening, 2 divisions are left standing, Division K and Division E. My name is Daphne Furlong, and I'm going to be your moderator this evening. I'd like to say thank you to our functionaries for giving their time this evening, our Zoom master, Joni Laidlaw, our judges, Stephanie M. Cross, Carl Lacrete, and Dylan Fraser, our timer, and she will keep us on time because we know we want to finish. I heard before 9:30, but we will see. Ika Jones, or Ika Jones, backup timers, Andre Gibson, and Ahidi Christina. Now, how will we conduct this debate? We will first have our first speaker of the proposition, who will speak for 5 minutes, followed by the first speaker of the opposition for 5 minutes. Following, we will have the second speaker of the proposition for 5 minutes and the second speaker of the opposition for 5 minutes. They will then go off to their breakout room, both judges and the speakers, or debaters, let's call them debaters. They will have 10 minutes, it should be 5 minutes, but they have up to 10 minutes to prepare and be back, during which time we will have some audience interaction. And if you'd like to interact during that time, get ready, have your thoughts together so that you can speak. When the debaters get back, we will then have a summary and rebuttals by the opposition first for 3 minutes, followed by summary from the proposition for 3 minutes. I'd like to introduce now our team for Division K, who we will call Team A. As I call your name, please unmute and say hi, just so we know that your mic works. The first speaker for Division K, Team A, Claudine Bailey. Claudine Bailey, we're not hearing you.
Yes, hello, good evening.
Thank you. Next speaker, Sean Downer. Please unmute and say hi. Sean Downer.
Hello.
Okay, we were just wondering if you had fallen asleep. And then we have Domain Gordon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Now, the team for Division E, and we will call them Team B. Melentia Samuel, please unmute and say hi.
Pleasant good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Next speaker, Arnold George.
Good evening, everyone.
And the third speaker, Shashoy Duncan.
Good evening, everyone.
And don't they sound like winners? Now, I'm going to ask our timer to demonstrate the timing signals for each team so that they are certain exactly what they're going to see when the timing signals are shown. Please demonstrate, Madam Timer.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. For the first and second speakers or debaters, you will see the green card light up at 3 minutes, the yellow at 4, the red at 5, and you will be muted at 5:16. For the rebuttal speaker, you will see green at 2, yellow at 2.5, red at 3, and you will be muted at 3:16. Please keep comments to the minimum so we can definitely end by 9:30. Back to you, Madam Moderator.
Thank you very much, Madam Timer. Now, one thing to note, at the 16th second beyond your time, there's an automatic loss of 10 points. No one wants to lose 10 points, so please be cognizant of time. Now for our mood this evening, and it goes. Integration is the major challenge for the Caribbean. Again, integration is the major challenge for the Caribbean. We're going to start with the first speaker of the proposition. Claudine Bailey, please unmute, ensure that you can see the timer, and begin when you are ready.
All right, I'm trying to pin the timer.
You may not be able to pin, you may just need to ensure that you can see the timer. So if you scroll across and find the timer, or timer, Madam Timer, if you put your hands up virtually, she may be able to see you quicker.
All right, I will need to pin her though.
There she is. She has been spotlighted for you.
I will need to pin her because
are you on a mobile device?
I'm on my laptop, but I'm seeing 3 persons now, and it's going to be difficult for me to function like this.
Okay, so a way around that maybe for everyone to not be spotlighted, you pin the timer and then spotlighting happens after.
All right.
Master?
Point of information, the spotlight may affect that. What we have done, are you seeing the timer in the first tile?
Yes, I'm seeing the timer now in the first tile.
Okay, we suggest that the timer will remain there for those on a laptop to make it easier.
Okay, you may begin when you are ready.
Lady Integration has shot herself in the foot. The book of Proverbs chapter 14 verse 1 tells us that every wise woman builds her house and the foolish one tears it down with her own hands. District 81, esteemed judges, Lady Integration has failed us miserably. And because she has failed to do the very thing that she had set out to do. Join us in supporting this moot. Integration is the major challenge for the Caribbean. In this debate, I will define the key terms of the moot and discuss the politics of integration. The second speaker will explore the economics and the social elements, while our third speaker will present an irrefutable rebuttal. The definitions. Integration, as defined by the Oxford Languages Dictionary, is the action or process of integrating. The root word integrate means to bring people or groups with particular characteristics or needs into equal participation in or membership of a social group or institution. The word major, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, refers to being greater in respect of number, quantity, or extent. Now, challenge, as defined by the Cambridge Dictionary, is the situation of being faced with something that needs great mental or physical effort in order to be done successfully and therefore test a person's ability. Mr. Kavoy Ashley, Jamaica's first secretary to the United Nations, noted in his dissertation proposal on culture and regionalism that there is no one all-inclusive way of defining the Caribbean, which the Oxford Languages Dictionary loosely defines as the region consisting of the Caribbean Sea, its islands, including the West Indies and the surrounding coast. However, contemporary Caribbean studies indicates that the four main definitions really are a geographical Caribbean, political Caribbean, a geological Caribbean, and a historical Caribbean. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, we assert that integration requires the greatest mental or physical effort in order to be done successfully and therefore test the collective Caribbean's ability the most. Just look at the definitions of Caribbean. We are not saying that integration has had no successes. Of course not. We are saying that it has been fraught with challenges. We also emphasize the word greatest derived from major, which demonstrates that the Caribbean has numerous challenges. However, comparatively and collectively, Lady Integration is the greatest because she commenced her trek from the 1950s and still has not yet arrived at her destination. Can you believe it? She was engaged by nation states to tackle economic, security, political, social, cultural, and now climate change issues. But in 2020, the International Monetary Fund avers that compared to other, and I quote, compared to other well-integrated regions like the ECCU and EU, the Caribbean lags. 1. Political challenges. We will view political challenges through the lens of the international relations theory of realism. Britannica Encyclopedia indicates that for realism, the most important national interest is the survival of the state, including its people, political system, and territorial integrity, as well as the nation's culture and economy. The point is, national interest always wins. In IMF blog article Strengthening Caribbean Regional Integration dated February 4, 2020, Ding and Octa noted concerning the Caribbean community and common market that a combination of institutional, political, economic, and structural factors underlie the slower implementation of integration policies. There's also the matter of a lack of a regional body with powers and accountability that can help transform community decisions into binding laws in individual jurisdictions. Further, the fact that each member retain their sovereignty in decision-making also hinders progress. In Caribbean politics, a matter of diversity, Paul Sutton opined that a common Caribbean identity and interests are hard to find, although there are formal intergovernmental associations that seek to promote the region, for example, CARICOM, and the Association for Caribbean States, they do not encompass every Caribbean state. You see what we are talking about? Sutton concludes, and we agree that the region is divided politically as the political community remains firmly anchored to the island and enclave. Ladies and gentlemen, the second speaker stands ready to further defend this moot.
And now we prepare for the next speaker, the first speaker of the opposition, Malentia Samuel. Please unmute and ensure that you can see the timer which is on the first tile. Malentia Samuel. You may begin when you are ready.
Trying to fill the timer.
The timer is on the first tile. You should be able to see the timer.
I can see.
Wait.
Madam Moderator, esteemed judges, my most worthy opponents, listening audience, good evening. We stand in passionate opposition of the moot. Integration is the major challenge in the Caribbean. But before I advance my argument, please permit me a brief moment to pluck the feathers of Speaker One's debate. The definitions given by the proposition seem skewed in their favor. So allow me to redefine the key terms of the moot and define an additional term that we believe is a game changer in tonight's debate. The Oxford Language Dictionary defines integration as the act or process of combining two or more things so that they work together. Major means very large or important. A challenge is a new or difficult task that tests someone's abilities or skills. The Caribbean is a region consisting of the Caribbean Sea and its islands, including the West Indies and the coast that surrounds it. Finally, the Miss Word and the game changer in tonight's debate is the, specifically the first the in the moot. The in this context is used to refer to somebody or something that is only or obviously one of its kind. Hence, our interpretation of the moot is that combining two or more activities across the islands of the Caribbean is singularly, obviously, the most important yet difficult task facing the region surrounding the Caribbean Sea. The first speaker of the proposition mentioned that there's a lack of integration in the Caribbean by a formalized body. But let me remind you, let us not major on the minors. We have CARICOM, and through CARICOM was aborted the Caribbean Public Health Agency and the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, which is the highest court of appeal in the region. Any matters going to the Court of Justice, this is the highest court in the land. I will show you why integration is not the major challenge in the Caribbean, but why natural disaster is. The second speaker of the opposition will show you that integration has been happening in the Caribbean, and our third speaker will negate all fallacies shared from the proposition and summarize our points. So why is integration not the major challenge in the Caribbean? In 2019, the United Nations Forum of Sustainable Development in the Caribbean states that there are difficulties today facing the region, such as natural disasters, a shortage of resources, and many other challenges, climate change, poverty, crime and violence, just to name a few. But nowhere was integration even mentioned as a challenge. So let's further examine two major challenges: crime and violence, and natural disasters. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and the World Bank reported that at 30 murders per 100,000 populations annually, the murder rates in the Caribbean are the highest in the region, higher than any other region in the world. According to Statista.com, Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria hit the Caribbean just days apart in September of 2017. $130 billion in damages were caused by these natural disasters. These are islands that are heavily reliant on tourism, and one hurricane can set several islands back for decades. So what is the major challenge in the Caribbean? Certainly not integration, but natural disasters is. In the last 20 years, 226,000 people died from earthquakes. 920,000 people were left homeless from tropical storms and hurricanes, which resulted in 8,500 fatalities. And while volcanoes only experienced 20 fatalities in the last 20 years, in 2021, the eruption of the La Soufrière volcano caused 18,000 people to evacuate their homes. So do you see how many people has died from natural disasters? Do you see how many people were affected from natural disasters? Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot buy lives. And that is why, be it resolved, we stand in vehement opposition of the moot. Integration is not the major challenge in the Caribbean, but natural disaster is. Madam Moderator.
Thank you for presenting your thoughts. We will now get ready for the second speaker of the proposition. Second speaker of the proposition, Sean Downer. Please unmute and ensure that you can see the timer.
Yes.
You may begin when you're ready.
Yes, I can see the timer. 1 from 10 leaves naught are the famous words of former Prime Minister Eric Williams from Trinidad and Tobago when Jamaica left West Indies Federation in 1961, or first onset of a united Caribbean. The definitions as outlined by our first speaker clearly suggest that integration, as we have witnessed and known, is the major challenge for the Caribbean. Lady integration has failed to give us true economic and social integration. I will be focusing on the challenge that integration has caused the Caribbean through social and economic ties. Most distinguished judges, members of District 81, friends, and my worthy opponents, stand with us on this side of the moot to propose that integration is the major challenge for the Caribbean. Firstly, let's address the flawed reasoning my opponents try to impose on you. Natural disasters could be handled better with integration. So if we fix natural disasters, if we fix integration, we could then do better with natural disasters. If CARICOM is the best thing that we can do, are we doing a great job? And the whole idea is not a singular governing body. There's just so many silos. You're not sure who to turn to. The ACS, the Organization of Americans of OES State, it's just too many things. Your head spin. Now, according to research published by the International Organization for Migration in 2021, they indicated that the greatest challenge within the region includes ease of access from one country to another, exorbitant flight costs, inhumane treatment of Caribbean nationals within other Caribbean countries, and in some cases, the need for visas prevent or make it extremely difficult for labor movement. Integration is on trial for being filled with promises and barely delivering. According to regional organizations for standards and quality, quote, the fact that the region is deeply fragmented and diverse poses another massive challenge for finding mutual understanding, end quote. Caribbean integration is struggling in terms of communication, reunions, and documentation due to the fact that the members are multilingual. This further causes a sense of alienation for like Suriname, where Dutch is the official language compared to the English-speaking Caribbean. Cultural and social integration would have been effective except for the fact that countries competing against each other. We say, who has more prominent culture? Who has more resources? Who serves to be treated with more respect? Who would say all various kind of things? All these things make it impossible to stay together. Regarding economic integration, there is a serious income gap within the Caribbean community in a 20-to-1 ratio. Although there are certain moves, it's critical to say that for 40 years of serious economic cooperation in the Caribbean, intra-trade has grown relatively slowly. 2004, International Conference of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy highlighted the shift from a 7.3% in the 70s to a 13.1% of total export in 1983. During the 80s and the 90s, there was a significant downfall in acceleration in the 2000 to 19.1% due to a drop-off in internal tariffs from 20 to 10, but then it fell again on to 16% in the 21st century. According to the World Bank, the IMF reported that labor mobility and liberal trade would have increased the region's GDP by 7% in the year 2018. Imagine island like Antigua and Barbuda with a 6% increase in its GDP. That year, to marry, coincide, integrate with a country like Jamaica with a tiny 1.4 increase in GDP that year. Countries have to put themselves first. Who can blame them? Which country willingly undertakes the struggle of integrating with other countries who have proven to be an economic liability? Absolutely not. Integration is a fallacy, just an idea that is preventing us from reaching our maximum potential individually. We stand in our position that integration is the major challenge for the Caribbean.
Thank you very much. We have now heard from the second speaker of the proposition. The second speaker of the opposition will now speak for 5 minutes. Ronald George, please unmute, ensure that you can see the timer, and begin when you are ready. Begin when you are ready.
Protocols already established. Good evening. The second speaker of the proposition mentioned 1 from 10 leaves not. But look at CARICOM now. 15 members strong and associate with other associate members. CARICOM is moving on. That being said, our first speaker of the opposition plucked some feathers as she shared how integration is not the major challenge for the Caribbean, as there are other challenges like crime, poverty, and especially natural disasters. I will be adding some seasoning to this pot by covering the fact that integration has been happening and will continue to. And our third speaker will summarize our points and further clear the misconceptions of the proposition. Esteemed judges, patient audience, I stand with my colleagues to refute the proposition's argument that integration is the major challenge for the Caribbean, as integration has been happening in the Caribbean for years. I'm going to share with you 4 of the many vehicles of integration that have shaped the Caribbean into what it is today. The vehicles of integration are economic, education, cultural, and social integration vehicles. Economic vehicles. According to Investopedia, the Caribbean Free Trade Association, CARIFTA, was established in 1965 to strengthen and encourage economic activities among its members. CARIFTA was succeeded by Caribbean Community and Common Market, CARICOM, which was formed in 1973 after the founders had enacted the Treaty of Chagaramas. One of CARICOM's current goals is to establish a free trade zone and single market. The Caribbean Single Market and Economy, CSME, is a 2006 initiative of CARICOM that would integrate member states into a single economic unit. Today, we have a CARICOM passport that allows CARICOM members to travel to any of the 15 CARICOM islands and stay for 6 months. You can also work in any CARICOM island once you have a CARICOM skill certificate. According to the Honorable Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt, for decades, companies across the Caribbean region have developed networks of trade and investment in the Caribbean region and each other's territory. Insurance companies, banks, hotel chains, commission agents, and manufacturing agents maintain strong bonds across our nation state. Sagicor, Digicel, Flow, and Sandals are strong region-wide companies contributing to Caribbean integration. Integration is alive and well in the Caribbean. The next vehicle is education. The University of the West Indies and the Caribbean Examinations Council were established for the sole purpose of higher education to be available in the Caribbean region. The university has campuses in Trinidad, Jamaica, Barbados, Antigua, and several open campuses throughout the region. An article on the CARICOM website entitled UE, a CARICOM Integration Leader, October 2020 says, quote, in order to assert themselves to the forefront of CARICOM integration, University of the West Indies must make their messages clear and easily understandable for region decision makers and ordinary citizens alike. Integration is happening in the Caribbean. The next vehicle of integration is the cultural vehicle, the Caribbean Festival of Arts, CariFesta. CariFesta exists to promote performances in the arts across the region as far back as 1972 in Guyana to 2019 in Trinidad. An article on the CARICOM website called CariFesta, an embodiment of Caribbean integration says, CariFesta is an international multicultural event organized by countries of the Caribbean to exhibit folkloric and artistic manifestations of the Caribbean and Latin American region. Integration is happening. The fourth vehicle of integration is social integration. TOASTMASTERS International District 81 is a prime example of social integration within the Caribbean, where persons from various islands meet on a Zoom platform and share, learn from each other and grow. Look at us, Division K and E, debaters from Tortola, Anguilla, Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands, and the entire melting pot of islands in the region have rallied here with us tonight to witness our victory. If this is not integration, I don't know what is. In closing, the Caribbean has many challenges with natural disasters at the very top of the list. And integration, which has been happening and will continue to happen, is very low on this list. Be it resolved, integration is not the major challenge in the Caribbean. Madam Moderator.
Thank you. We have now heard from both the first and the second speaker of the proposition and the opposition. They will now go off to their various breakout rooms to prepare for the rebuttal and the summary. Madam Zoom Master, can you please take each group, each team, I should say, to their breakout room, along with the judges to their breakout room. When they're all gone, please let me know. Those of you who would like to speak after the contestants or the debaters have been moved to their breakout rooms, get ready.
Moderator, we do have the results from the first debate, and also we are going to launch a poll for who should we throw off the boat.
The contestants have been moved to the breakout room.
Thank you, Madam Zoom Master. So we will hear from the fabulous Fabiola. She has some news for us.
Yes. I would like to ask our Zoom Master, Sarinka, if she can launch the poll. And the poll is for us that have heard our role players, the chief engineer, the second engineer, the two pastors, the teacher, the cook, all of them, and the medical pursers. Who of them should we throw off the boat? As soon as you see the poll, you can start voting. Who is the one that we're going to throw off? And I'm looking at our chief scorer. If he can announce who were the winners of our fun debate. DTM Finish, are you on?
Yes, I'm on.
All right. Do you have some news for us?
Ready for the results? Are we ready?
Yes.
Let's hear some noise for both teams. Excellent job done by both teams. Both teams will be going home tonight, but one team will be victorious. And the winning team for tonight is the proposition team. Congratulations to the current district leader, the proposition team. Madam Chair.
The names of Okay, we do have a problem with the launching of the poll. We will, oh, there it is. Okay, so we got it. Thank you, Sarinka. So please go ahead, launch the poll, and we will give you a couple of minutes. And now I turn over to our moderator. You can guide us up to when you see the red light of our timer.
Okay, we are back. Now, which individual wants to give their views on whether integration is the major challenge for the Caribbean, or is it something else? What do you think? I see Ato's hand. Unmute and go straight ahead. Let's hear from you.
Good evening. I strongly agree that integration is a major problem affecting the Caribbean region. Most, as we know, especially as Toastmasters, in unity there is strength. And if as a region we can work closer together, we would be better able to tackle a lot of the challenges that we are facing. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Now we are going to hear from Christina Moore.
My voice. Can you hear my voice?
I can hear your voice.
Yeah, I just want to share my story that I think integration is a major challenge. For me, when I was about 15 years old, I used to play cricket for the women's boys school. And when I was representing Jamaica, I was a good cricketer, an opener. But being made from the West Indies under 15, under 19 at that time was really a major challenge. And the way Jamaica team was so good at that time, people were saying that it was sad to know that we as Jamaica couldn't have our own super team. So from that personal experience, I think that there's not much unity in the world cricket fraternity. It helped my cricket career to end very quickly. So I think that the integration and the leaders, how they put their rules and regulation, it does affect unity in our Caribbean, especially from a sports perspective. I can speak from that perspective.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. So do you think that it is the major challenge?
I think it's a major challenge. It's a major challenge.
Or the?
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge in the Caribbean. Thank you.
Let's hear another person's thoughts. Do you think it is the major challenge? A major challenge? One of the challenges? What do you think?
I do want to encourage.
Yolanda?
Sorry about that, moderator. I just wanted to encourage everyone to please vote. We are at this moment 47%. Please see the poll and vote for the one that you think is the least or the least to stay on the vote. So the one that we need to throw off. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I acknowledge Toastmaster Yolanda.
Good evening, Madam Moderator.
Okay, which Yolanda? Which Yolandas?
Oh, we have many Yolandas here.
Yolanda
relinquish
Akenke.
it.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. My thoughts on this is when I heard of the for me, the issue is indeed integration. The major challenge is integration. Whilst we do have all the other external things, we have crime, we have poverty, we have disasters and all these things. All of these things can be better dealt with and better achieved through integration with children. So for me personally, I think that integration is the major challenge.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And I see that we are on the red, which means you, Master, please return judges and debaters to the room and let me know when they are all here.
Okay, before that, let's close the poll.
We see that the Judge Delon Fraser is here.
Yes.
And he is very...
We are ready. We are ready. Yeah, we are ready. We are ready.
Are all of the debaters back?
Yes, they are, Madam Moderator.
Thank you, Madam Hugh Master. So now we will hear from the third speaker, starting with the opposition. The third speaker of the opposition will speak for 3 minutes. Let's put our hands together and welcome our third speaker, Shashoy Duncan. Shashoy Duncan. Unmute, ensure that you can see the timer, and begin when you are ready.
Thank you very much. Let me just make sure. ETT timer. Yes.
Can you now see the timer with the green?
Yes.
Great. Begin when you are ready.
Esteemed judges, the first speaker of the opposition plucked the feathers of the proposition's arguments as she shared that we have bigger challenges to worry about than integration. The second speaker of the opposition sprinkled the seasoning as he showed that integration is happening in the Caribbean. I now rise to cook the goose of the proposition's argument as we strongly refute the position of the proposition. Allow me to dissect the arguments of each speaker one by one and then holistically. Speaker number one claims that integration has failed. Integration is happening everywhere, right around us, right here in the Caribbean. Have you ever attended CariFesta? Do you have a passport like this, marked Caribbean Community, CC? That, ladies and gentlemen, is integration. If it's not moving as fast enough for Division K, we understand, but don't say integration is the major challenge when so much integration is happening all around us. Speaker one said that we are missing a common Caribbean identity. Well, let me break the news. CARICOM is our common identity. And as Sir George Allen, from the past Chancellor of UWI, University of the West Indies States, CARICOM. The people in the Caribbean live CARICOM. They just may need to be reminded how CARICOM has helped us to be integrated. Speaker number one gave a definition that was in their favor and not ours. The definition of integration is simple. The process of bringing two things together, allowing it to work together. It's simple. So focusing on political, focusing on economic and social, that's not enough. Integration is simple. It's not hard. It is happening right now on the Zoom chat, as stated by speaker number two of the opposition. Talking about speaker number two, let's move to speaker number two of the proposition, who spoke about integration being a fallacy. Guess what? That statement is a fallacy, as integration is real. He spoke about travel. Travel where? In 2018, that point would stand. But in 2021, adopt technology. Use Zoom and other technology to reach people. Speaker two also spoke about language barrier. Listen, let me introduce you to Google Translate. It doesn't matter what language you speak, you can reach people far and wide. Your goose is cooked, Division K. Integration is not the major challenge within the Caribbean.
And we have heard from the third speaker of the opposition. Now, we will hear from the third speaker of the proposition, Domain Gordon. Please unmute. Ensure that you can hear the speaker, the timer, sorry, and begin when you are ready.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. I can see our time. Give me a second just to get comfortable. Bear with me. Toastmasters, judges and opponents. What my team and I have made clear is that integration is a problem, a bottleneck, a hindrance to the countries of the Caribbean in their own development. Fraught with challenges, integration has failed to deliver its ideal. My opponents, I am vegetarian and will not take part in your poorly cooked chicken. So let me dismantle your arguments. We never said integration is not happening, but we agree with the IMF when they say that compared to other regions, the Caribbean is lacking. They spoke to the use of the CCJ, but the reality is in the English-speaking Caribbean, we don't use it. We use the UK Privy Council. Education, CXC is limited. Dutch islands do not use it. They spoke of the effects of natural disaster, which would be mitigated by resolving the issues of integration. Therefore, integration takes precedence. You spoke of CARICOM as a leading body. CARICOM does not include many Caribbean islands, such as most of the non-former English colonies. Affiliate members of CARICOM don't even get the same benefits. It's not a unifying body. You speak of crime. Well, let me remind you that crime is an economical issue. Income per capita and crime are directly proportional. Better integration, more money, less crime. Follow? The scholar Langerhove indicates that the purpose of integration in the Caribbean is to develop an environmental program to address all these challenges. Integration is the major challenge because integration was meant to address these very problems you've purported. Let's not waste time in the kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. Let me surmise my team's argument. My team gauged the scope of our argument when our first speaker clearly defined the key points of the moot. She educated our opponents on the political and legal factors stemming from this integration, reminded us that the most important national interest is the survival of the state, including its people, political system, and territorial integrity. Unless the Caribbean were a single country, it is understandable that individual members would seek to further their own interest. Lady integration has failed to do the very thing she set out to. Our second speaker made it clear. Logistically, there is difficulty in accessing labor opportunities. The Caribbean is fragmented geographically, culturally, and linguistically. With so many languages, Caribbean-wide communication is a problem. Then another factor. We have severe economic imbalance. Weaker economies can and have put strains on larger countries, making it harder to keep up with world trends. So we snail along economically. Hey, we don't even have a single currency. That's not progress. Ladies and gentlemen, to be clear, we are not saying that integration among Caribbean countries is not wanted. But what we are saying is that the promise of integration has failed and is a burden upon progress. Let us be autonomous, let us grow. And if there is need to help each other, we will. But as they tell you in the event of an airplane going down, don your mask first before you can put it on another. Integration is the major challenge of the Caribbean. Madam Chair.
Integration is the major challenge of the Caribbean. Yea or nay? Gloves are down, and now we await to hear what the judges have to say. Judges?
Good evening.
Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
We will now hear from the judges.
Good evening, everyone. We chose to do the finals that each judge would have 1 minute to speak. We would like to start with Judge Carl Lacrete. Your feedback in 1 minute.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chief Judge. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my feedback in 1 minute, I'll try to be brief. I think it was a really heated debate. It was extremely hard for us, or let me talk for myself to score that debate, and I'm still not sure who I will declare the winner tonight. I really appreciated the fact that both teams came with strong arguments. They came with data supporting the points. And the first part of the debate, it was really strong from both teams. I was waiting for the third speakers to decide in which direction I will be swayed. And I really appreciated the fact that both third speakers, they summarize the key points of the debate and try to reinforce the key points of the team. However, I think that one of them did a better job giving us the impression that the team of that speaker made a better job. I'll stay there and pass the lectern to the Chief Judge.
Thank you, Toastmaster Carl Lacrete, for your feedback. We now follow in with Toastmaster Dallin Frazier.
Thank you very much, Madam Chief Judge. And Toastmasters and guests, I believe I was at a finals for a debate. I was taken aback by the arguments, the structure. Oh my gosh, I love the flair with the debates. I love the oral fighting and the arguments as they were put forward here this evening. One good thing that I enjoyed is that, and I would always say, a good debate always hinges on the balance or on the balance of an excellent rebuttals. So with that, I look forward to the Chief Judge's remarks. Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dallin. Yes, indeed, I have to agree with my fellow judges. Tonight was a neck and neck for all of us. It was definitely the structure, the data brought forward, and in fact, the storytelling, the amount of tonation and the amount of emphasis in each of their voices in order to convey their points, to make us, to sway us to their side. Truly, I got goosebumps thinking about the chicken. It was amazing. I have to totally congratulate everyone for participation, and I can't wait for the final outcome to be known to everyone, because this has been a long way, and I have to say we have indeed seen a major growth in every debater tonight. Wonderful job, everyone. Back to Madam Moderator.
Thank you for sharing, Chief Judge and other judges. Will it be the vegetarian or will it be the meat eater? Let's hear Are we ready to hear the result, or should we continue with the debaters? Let me know, Madam Organizer.
Yes, I must say thank you. We are at 9:30 and we do have the results, but there are a couple of things that we need to finalize. And for that, I'm going to ask another 10 minutes so we can finish our program this evening. We do have the result of the poll. And for this, I would like to call the DTM Dylan. I'm going to share the results from the poll. So you can take it on from here, Dylan.
Yes. And so what will happen is, since we have 10 minutes more to go.
No, 10 minutes for the rest of the whole program. So we still
10 minutes for the rest of the whole program.
Yes.
What will happen here is that I will see, based on the first round, only one person can remain on the board, which was the arguments that was put forward. And of course, we've heard so many arguments, the cook, the musician, and the first and second engineer. But if I might add my own take to it, the engineer is supposed to be equally responsible as well, along with the capitan and all those chief others. The musician, what are you going to do? Are you going to play music as we all sink in the sea? No. Medical, when you drunk, we all drunk. So who is going to fix who? And for the teacher, what are you going to teach us? How to swim? Hey, come on, we're drowning. And for the pastor, I expected that you would have been praying for us to enter those pearly gates, but I did not hear that.
Amen.
So I did not hear that, Pastor. I was hoping for you to pray for us to the pearly gate or pray for some ship to come and rescue us, but we didn't hear that either. So as we go down to the votes, it appears to me that the person with the least vote is the person that is favorable and staying on the ship, if I'm correct. And so according to the votes, the vote says 5. Wait, let me scroll down. It's a long list here. Musician, definitely didn't like you. You get 23%. Off the boat you go, walk the plank. And so the person who gets to stay on the boat here this evening, the person who wins this evening's ship debate is none other than the pastor, Carla McGravy Blair. So please give her a wonderful round of applause.
Mercy. Let us pray.
McGravy Blair. Toastmaster McGravy Blair.
Congratulations. I guess the crowd really and truly wanted your prayers so that we can be saved from a sinking ship.
That was coming next.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Madam
Thank you so much.
Organizer. I'm trying to find Toastmaster Fabi's title.
All hats. We are just waiting for our hat scorer, but saving some time. I would like now to call on.
We have the score for the first round.
We mentioned that already.
Okay.
But we do have a best speaker. A best speaker for that round of the district leaders is none other than Christopher Yaw with the most. Let's give him a big applause. And then we have vote of thanks, because in order for us to organize this 4 weeks after each other, it was no small feat. And there are so many persons that we would like to thank. But first, let me see, is our district director Innocent in the house? Not yet. If not, for the sake of getting some time, I would like now to introduce our club growth. Distinguished Toastmaster Melinda, who is going to give the vote of thanks. Distinguished Toastmaster Melinda.
Thank you, Madam Debate Chair Fabiola. District 81 family, showing appreciation is part and parcel of who we are as Toastmasters, and a great opportunity to really say thank you to the team members who invested their time and efforts in planning and participating in this exciting and first of its kind event here in District 81. With a 94-member strong team whose individual efforts gave us this amazing collective result, please indulge me for a few minutes to recognize the members of our debate tour team. First off, we thank God for this event and the community to enjoy it with, and all the members who said yes to our program quality director and our debate chair's call to lead and serve as members of this amazing team. We want to thank our moderators, the brave soldiers who led us through each debate, exciting us while calming and steadily supporting our debate teams, nicely ensuring the smooth execution of each session. Thank you to the 2021-2022 debate moderators, Toastmasters Lisa, Daphne, Michelle, Sonia, Toastmaster Harry, Carla, Debbie, and Karen. What is a contest without the hardworking judges who have to carefully listen to every line and in true Toastmaster style, evaluate the points presented? They had to apply the rules and score sheet elements and do what a lot of us were happy not to do, select the winning teams each week. And again tonight, they're working on selecting the first winning division for the District 81 Leaders Beyond Borders debate. Thank you to all our judges: Stephanie, Lindona, Judith, Carl, Nadia, Ayawa, Corville, Toastmaster Mahan, Grace, Melissa, Lori, Claudia, Sandra, Kenia, Janet, Brittany, Marcella, Judith again, this time Toastmaster Judith Drouillard, and Toastmaster Stacy. We have to also show love to our key functionaries and lifesavers at all contests, our timers and our counters. To Toastmasters Marcella, Ika, Akanke, Arcides, Toastmaster Durand, Lynette, Jasmine, Julie, Andrea, Licia, Karshina, Lynette, and Toastmaster Mackenzie. Your debate leadership team and our district thanks you for the keen focus on timing and ballot counting to ensure our contest operations were as best as practical, managed efficiently and effectively. To the Caribbean tech team, the best tech team in the Western and of course the Eastern hemispheres, thank you for your time and support in managing the tech platforms through the series of debate sessions. This was no ordinary task, but we know you are no ordinary team, but an exceptional one. For demonstrating why you are the best and helping with the smooth operations of this event, we say thank you. Thank you to Licia, Joni, Ika, Arcides, Eartha, Gwyneth, Sharnake, Sheila, and Jeanette, ably led by our master techies, Sarinka and Malushka, and supported by our logistics manager, Odine. Thank you for all your support, especially all that you've done behind the scenes. Now, I don't know if you have seen those amazing flyers before and after every event and the certs that some of you have specially sent requests for. Well, the persons to thank and who I'm now taking bookings for are Toastmaster Julie Young for the flyers and Toastmaster Malushka Rosario for the certs. Major kudos to you ladies and thank you for your works of art. Now, just before I get to the well-run committee who led this Mission Impossible operation, we have special mentions to all our division directors, especially the 4 division directors who not only supported and got their teams ready, but they took on active roles and delivered like bosses, even while working hard to serve their respective teams. Thank you, Division Directors Karshina, Division Director Carl, Division Director Corville, and Division Director Sonia. And now, everyone, please help me recognize and thank all the members of the committee who planned this debate. From our program quality director, Pierre, and our debate chair, Fabi, major thanks and appreciation goes out to committee members. First up, we have our functionaries chair, Toastmaster Deborah Bavkims, our workshop facilitator, Paul Carroll, a distinguished Toastmaster from the UK. To our PR and division liaison, that's Toastmaster Julie Young, To our chief scorer and scheduler, Distinguished Toastmaster Vinish Eteru, and to our debater judging advisor, Distinguished Toastmaster Dallin Fraser. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And major kudos goes out to our host club, Leaders Beyond Borders, woohoo! Thank you so much to everyone who made this event possible. Now, we have to thank the lady who worked so hard to lead this team, our debate chair, Fabiola. Lady Fabi, you rocked it. Major congrats to you and your team. Let us thank our program quality director for this concept, this idea, and pushing to make it happen. And of course, we have to thank our Run Together, Win Together leader for his usual support and leadership, Distinguished Toastmaster Innocent Richard. To all our audience members and district family who diligently joined all the calls, cheered on your divisions. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your continued support and for your trust in our district leadership team. Now at this point, I'd love to invite our tech chair, Malushka, to share a special token video that we prepared to say thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, again, for all that you've done. And I now return you to our debate chair, Lady Fabiola.
Thank you so much. You did a great job, indeed. It's nice to be recognized, and this could not have been done without all these people. Okay, do we have our head scorer in the house? Toastmaster DTM finish? We're still waiting for the debate. Results are in, yes. So at this moment, I would like to call on our, oh, wait. All right, yes, we are ready for DTM finish to tell us.
Master Fabi, how are you doing it? The best speaker first or the winner first?
If you send me, then the certificates also will be ready by the time you're done. Just go ahead with the best speaker and then announce who is our team for this evening.
Good evening, all. Over the past weeks, we have identified the best speaker along as you go. And we had nominated 12 best speakers. So I'd like to ask Toastmaster Fabi to present the 10 persons that were nominated for the best speaker. And then I will announce the top 3.
Okay. Just a moment.
Toastmaster Fabi?
Do you have that at hand? Because I skipped that part. Please go ahead and announce them, the nominees.
The nominees are as follows. Adana Litt was nominated for the best speaker. Toastmaster Copeland, Toastmaster Bailey, Toastmaster Gordon, Toastmaster George, Toastmaster Isabella, Toastmaster Mackenzie, Toastmaster Samuel, Toastmaster Rosemary, Toastmaster Sashoya, Toastmaster Sean Donner, and Toastmaster Yolanda Morris. 12 persons was identified for the best speaker. In third place, we have Toastmaster Isabella Hyman. In second place, we have Toastmaster Sashoya Duncan. And in first place, will receive a gift certificate of 50 US. And that Toastmaster, anyone knows? Anyone would like to?
Domain.
Gordon.
Domain.
Awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Toastmaster Domain. So we spotlight Toastmaster Domain.
Congratulations, Mama.
Great job. Great job. Congratulations.
Bop, 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 bop.
I now like to call on Toastmaster Toastmaster Fabi, will you present the certificate? It's ready. First, Toastmaster Julie have it.
Should have gone to Toastmaster Melushka for the names to be inserted. But you can go ahead to announce the winner of the teams. If you send it to me, please send it to me by WhatsApp, private, so I can start having Melushka prepare it.
I have them DTM, Fabi. If you want to.
Oh yes, okay, you have it. Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead, finish.
Are you ready for the result? Let's make some noise. Are you ready?
Yay!
Come on, release your mic and say something.
Come on, Division E.
Yay! You meant K, Toastmaster.
I'm from Division E.
Toastmaster Daphne, it's a K.
Hey! Excellent job. And the winner goes to the proposing team, Division K. Congratulations.
Yes!
Integration is a challenge. Yay! K all the way.
Mercy. It's a K. The audience, yeah, if you want to cook. K.
Right. Wow. Wow.
If you want to cook, it's K-O-O-K. That's all right.
Awesome.
Okay, I would like to ask the Zoom master to spotlight the team, the 3 members of the team, and also Julie Young for the certificate. And I don't know if Melushka has the gift certificate ready. So we can take picture of.
I have the gift certificate detail.
Oh, you have it too. Okay, great. Okay. All right.
So Domain and them not one.
So the team, when you are ready, just connect with me and we will arrange this.
Yes, maybe. Yes.
So congratulations to all.
Oh, I wanted to contact.
And with this,
look at our division director. Oh my, oh my.
I would like now to pass on the word to our program quality director, distinguished Toastmaster Pierre Charles Mignot, to finalize and finish our debate master tour.
Thank you so much, dear Fabi. Thank you so much. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, members of District 81. We have come to the end of a long way that started on the first day of July, where we had the idea of bringing something new to the District 81. The idea is to offer to the clubs a kind of variety in the way they process. We want to bring a new brief to the life of the clubs. We need the clubs to have activities that are different from the daily routines. We need to have activities where members feel there's something new and they do not feel bored with the same program all the time. And debate is one of the activities that you can have. When you debate, members still are presenting speeches. They are still able to deliver, to perform, to show what they are capable of. And we think that through debate, clubs can market themselves. They can get new members. So it creates an energy in a club, and we are focusing on that. We are asking all the clubs to take this as an example. We want you to work as a team. And the district, we wanted to organize this event. We contacted 5 distinguished Toastmasters. Thank you so much. The first person I talked to was distinguished Toastmaster Fabiola, a very good friend, and someone on who you can count at any time. We can call her. Thank you so much, dear Fabi. Thanks to distinguished Toastmaster Debbie, Julie, Vinish, Michelle. You were part of this team and you did it. Many thanks, big thanks to all the divisions, all the members, all the teams, the crew, all of you, the audience were there since August, where we had our first workshop about the debate. You were there. During the last 4 weekends, you were there. And until now, it is very late at night, you were there. And we felt the energy, we felt the passion, and we believe that you learn a lot from that. And it will not be the end. It is just the beginning of a series of events that we are going to have in District 81. Thanks to everyone, and congratulations to Division K, the winner of that first edition of our Debate Masters Tour. And big thanks also to Big Leaders Beyond Borders. We wanted the club to host that, and they were there. They responded quickly, and they did it. Thanks to everyone. Congratulations once again. And as I said, we just wish that clubs, area, divisions, and even the district will continue with that kind of activities. Congratulations to all of us, I said, to all of us, and have a great night. Let's enjoy after this meeting. We can keep enjoying, and Division K, we will meet you very soon to keep congratulating you. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Fabiola.
Thank you. And with this, we conclude officially and close our Debate Master Tour. But if you are on for a party, we can still be on for a half an hour max for those that don't need to go to work tomorrow. But also, I would like, if possible, to just have an interview with the winning team. And for this, I would like to ask Toastmaster Daphne, do you want to interview them? And I would like to ask the...
Sure, Toastmaster Domain is on that team and I'm dying to interview him too.
Yeah.
Did you send Toastmaster Domain home? Ah, there he is. And the Toastmaster Claudine. Now tell us, what was it like preparing for this final debate? Let's start with Toastmaster Domain. What was it like preparing for this final debate?
Wow, challenging, to put it in a word. Like late nights, the amount of research. My team and I want to tell them how much I rate and love them. Yeah. The nights, the 2 o'clock in the morning, even though I jump off at 11, the hours, the research, the cussing, the writing. I wouldn't ask for any other team. A rating. I love you guys so much. Even the guys you aren't seeing on screen, trust me. Michael, Simone, wow! You know where you go.
Shadi.
Deandra. And all the people who joined to help and to just, and we Capitan, Skipper.
Yes, my friend.
So I want to ask another question then. Would you say that this was a successful bit of integration? And I want to ask that of Toastmaster Sean.
I will answer it this way. This is definitely interpersonal communication. This is what we're having. Definitely.
And you note he refused to use the word integration here, right? Now, how did you manage with these two guys, Claudine? Tell us. What was it like preparing with these two guys?
Oh, they're absolutely fabulous, and they are just so gifted, and their minds completely brilliant. So these are the kinds of persons that will stretch you, and they have you thinking, and we're going back and forth, and we're looking at the mood from this side and that side. So it was absolutely amazing. I appreciate them so much.
Okay, so now tell me, what was the absolute best part of all of this debate tour? And I want to hear that from Toastmaster Domain.
I knew it. You know, we need to find out what's going on between Daphne and Domain. You know, we need to figure it out.
You're not gonna figure it out. Don't worry, Domain. Go ahead.
Our thing is special, you know it. It's hard to say, Toastmaster Daphne. It's very difficult to say what the best part was. There were so many moments that one could highlight that were just exhilarating, you know, from announcements of victories to the midst of the speech when you're in the throes of passion and you're just, yeah, and then hearing Simone in the background. It was exciting all around. I cannot pinpoint a single moment that I would say would be the best.
In fact, if I may add to that,
yes.
What I will say is that we were a true team. We had each other's back. He alluded to it earlier, but our plan of attack was, you know, very different. We've gotten really, really close. We talk all hours of the day and extensively at night. But I also want to pause and dedicate this win as well to one of our key members, Audrey Waugh. And for reasons I will not say here, but I just want to tell her thank you for your hard work from day one. I also want to say big up to Adine Wilson as well. You know, so Adine, Audrey, and myself who were the first in Domain. It was just a real, hear it now, integration.
We now hear it. I was coming back to that, you know, because I was now coming down to Claudine to ask, don't you think that this is a masterful set of integration that we have shown here?
Oh, you mean within our team? Certainly.
No, within
it's amazing. I agree. But I must agree with my coach to say that the interpersonal discourse that we've had over this platform is just truly phenomenal.
I think so too. And each time I look and I see the number of people who are in the room, even when we went as late as 11 o'clock, I thought, wow, this is fantastic.
Here's what I'll say to you. Doing this particular moot broadened or highlighted our perspective. And even though it may have been taught, like I've realized that we tend to look at Caribbean in a CARICOM context. I'm not realizing it's bigger than CARICOM way. And that was an interesting discovery. I mean, I had an interview with one or two Toastmasters from here just to understand the region that they're a part of. And it was indeed interpersonal.
Fantastic.
We just want to pause also to just thank, I'm not sure if he's on, but Mr. Cavoy Ashley is the Jamaica's first secretary to the United Nations. So he even stopped in with us so that we could get expert information from him. And he was there literally for at least 2 or 3 hours, just giving us his expertise on the matter, dealing directly with the issues. So we went all the way to the UN to get him.
Okay. Now I have one final question. Do you think personally, now we're not talking debate, now we're outside of the debate. Do you personally think that integration is the major challenge for the Caribbean? And let's start with Toastmaster Sean.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Domin. I yield to you and I come back around.
No, he wants a little time to think.
Initially, I would have said yes. But even looking at this, there are so many examples that integration is in train. But what seems to be systemic is just the slow pace at which it happens and the level of infighting. And I remember recently, like within the last 24 months, when a few Caribbean countries were invited to go see a former president of the United States, and other members of CARICOM was wondering why, what's going on? And my head is like, if we really were in sync, if we really had information out, if we really, had that symbol to look to, we would really stay connected. But we still, like we said, we have those personal interests at play. And so for that cause, integration still remains a challenge, a significant challenge. I mean, you're talking about the 2030 agenda that CARICOM has and a few things that they want to roll out. There, like we said in our debate, there are systemic things in place. You talk about things that come from World Cup in 2006, where you look at the Caribbean security in terms of border control. However, there is still challenge with movement. There are still even forms of discrimination that we didn't talk about in this that we don't deal with. We mentioned the whole thing of linguistics, language barrier, those kind of things were further now understood in this exercise. The Caribbean is English speaking, Dutch, Spanish, French. All of those issues there. We never even talk about the role Haiti played because we had so much information. So yes, integration remains a challenge. We know that down in the Lesser Antilles, those special states have the Eastern Caribbean dollar, but that model may never ever get to the entire Caribbean. So yes, integration is a challenge.
And I keep hearing, not the. So tell me, Toastmaster Claudine, do you personally think that integration is the major challenge in the Caribbean?
All right, so when you're talking about this topic, you kind of have to contextualize it. And I think what we have to look at is the whole matter of comparatively speaking and collectively. You see, because when you talk about integration, you talk about the Caribbean, is a collective subject matter. So you have to look at it within that particular scope. So I would have to say yes, collectively for the Caribbean. Why? Because we have set out to obtain and to accomplish certain things, and we have not accomplished those very things that we have set out to. Yes, we are on that track, like we said in our debate, that there have been some successes, but there is still a long way to go. And Domain said it, we don't even have a single currency, and that is very critical. And we also indicated, and it's also as a matter of international relations, that in terms of realism, that there's still the element of national interest that still continues to persist. And not only that, we also have the matter where you have to see integration as, for example, the foundation of a house. So if that foundation is shaky, then the other things on it, they're going to collapse. And that's why things like crime and the climate change and sea level rise, these are things that integration is supposed to tackle. And so that's why it has to be the major challenge, because it is foundational and systemic.
Okay, so I'm watching Toastmaster Domain's head going up and down and up and down. So I don't actually need to ask him the same question. But to be fair, I'm going to ask him a question. Was it your initial view that integration was the major challenge for the Caribbean. So before all of this, what is your initial view?
Yes. Yes, and let me tell you a quick anecdote to sink in the point. And what they said, because everything they said is exactly the same page that I'm on. When I was in the 5th grade is the first time I learned about CARICOM. And it was an amazing idea to me, the idea of the Caribbean being a singular body. And the more I learned about it, the more disappointed I got, because I realized that it wasn't all encompassing. It wasn't doing the things that it should have done. I wanted to see the Caribbean on the world stage, you know, a united front, a single voice in the UN, doing things that would benefit us all. And when I realized that that wasn't the case, it was very disappointing for my 12-year-old brain. So now when this mood came about and it hit, it really did cement the point that yes, integration has always been the point. Our guest told us that integration starts first in the mind before it goes anywhere else. And if we're going to be integrated, which we need to be integrated, then we have to see each other as one. And unfortunately, that's not the case. And we want it to be. So yes, to answer your question, before the move and all these things, I did think that integration was a major challenge for the Caribbean.
Thank you very much for your responses. Now, if we could only get the Caribbean to operate the way Toastmasters, this group, has operated, then we will have true integration. I will now pass back to our organizer, the TM Fabiola.
All right. Well, as I said, we can stay on because we are officially done. Anyone would like, yes?
Yes, it is a point of information. I don't think we have displayed a certificate for Division E. They also have a certificate. It is $100. So
yes.
It would be good to show it.
Yes, and let's see. If we have all the team members of Division E and Julie. Julie, are you still on? If we can spotlight.
Yes, I'm still on. Let me pull it up. Just give me a moment. Okay.
And if we can spotlight the members of the team, so we can get a nice picture from them also. And it would be nice also to hear from them how they experience this training. Okay. So when you're ready to make use of your certificate, just connect with either me or preferably with PQD and you will get the instructions. This is your nice certificate, gift certificate that you can spend.
Woo! Big up Division E.
Okay. Yes.
Woo!
So, Moderator Daphne, do you have a couple of questions for Division E also? So others can know also their experience.
Oh, sure. Now let's start with Toastmaster Shashori. Toastmaster Shashori, do you believe that integration is the major challenge, that's the word, the major challenge for the Caribbean? Do you personally believe that?
Certainly not. Certainly not, Toastmaster Daphne, because the Caribbean has bigger things to worry about than migration. We have climate change, we have natural disasters, we have poverty, we have crime, we have violence, we have all these things that encompass every individual within the Caribbean. Integration is a challenge, yes, but definitely not the major challenge. I think we are majoring in the minor.
Toastmaster Malenti, do you believe that we are majoring in the minor?
I definitely do agree with my colleague Sashoy. For example, earlier one of our
opponents. Congratulations, by the way, to Division K. I'm not a sole loser. One of our opponents was saying that if we fix integration, we could fix natural disaster. And I totally disagree, because natural disaster is natural. We cannot go against nature. Nature will do what it has to do. So I definitely agree with Sasha.
And Toastmaster Arnold, what are your views? Do you actually think?
Let me begin